I wired Claude directly into my Interactive Brokers account this weekend. Not a sandbox, not a demo. A real account that pulls live positions, real-time quotes, options chains, the whole picture. The setup takes about 20 minutes if you know what you're doing, and the rest of this video is me walking you through exactly how to do it. Here's why this matters. Right now, if you want Claude to look at your portfolio, you're copy-pasting your holdings into the chat window, you're screenshotting the chart, you're describing what you see. Then you finally ask the question. Half your time gets eaten just feeding the AI context that's already sitting in your broker. What I'm about to show you removes all of that. You open Claude, you ask what's my portfolio doing right now, and it reads the live data straight from your account. The tech that makes this possible is called MCP, Model Context Protocol. Anthropic released it in late 2024 and it's basically a universal translator. It's a standardized way for any AI to talk to any external service, your broker, your email, your calendar, your spreadsheets. The AI doesn't have to learn each one from scratch anymore. It just speaks MCP, the service speaks MCP, they talk. For brokers there are MCP servers now for almost every major platform. Zerodha in India launched theirs officially. Longbridge for Hong Kong and US markets. There are community-built ones for Robinhood and Schwab. The one I'm using is for Interactive Brokers, because IBKR is the only major retail broker that serves basically every country including Argentina, and their API is the most mature in the business. If you're somewhere outside the US and you actually need real broker access, IBKR is probably your path. 3 things you need before we start. An Interactive Brokers account, even paper trading works for this, a computer that can run Python, and Claude Desktop installed. Not the web version, the desktop app. It has to be desktop because the MCP servers run locally on your machine. I'm using the Arjun Dai Vecha IBKR server because it's the most full-featured one available right now. Multi-account support, real-time market data, options chains with Greeks, short-selling analysis, and order placement with safety checks. Free, open source, on GitHub. Step 1. You're installing Interactive Brokers Trader Workstation, or IB Gateway. TWS is the full trading platform with charts and everything. Gateway is the lightweight version that just handles API connections in the background. For what we're doing, Gateway is enough and it uses way less memory. Download it from the IBKR website, install it, log in. Once you're inside Gateway, you need to enable the API. The setting is buried under Edit, Global Configuration, API, Settings. There's a checkbox that says Enable ActiveX and Socket Clients. Check that. There's another one that says Read-Only API. Leave that one checked if you only want Claude to analyze your account. Uncheck it if you want Claude to be able to place trades. Personally, I leave it checked. I want Claude reading my data. I don't want Claude pulling the trigger on orders without me looking. Now the part that trips everyone up. The port number. IBKR uses 4 different ports, depending on whether you're on TWS or Gateway, and whether you're trading live or paper. Live on TWS is 1 port. Paper on TWS is another, live on Gateway is a 3rd, paper on Gateway is the 4th. You pick the one that matches your setup and write it down. We're going to use it in a minute. I'm on Gateway in paper mode, which puts me on port 4002. You'll see all 4 in the description. Step 2. Set up a paper trading account if you don't already have one. Log into the IBKR client portal, go into account settings, find paper trading, click create. Your paper username is just your regular username with the letters DU added to the front. Paper account comes preloaded with 1 million simulated dollars and it shares all your market data subscriptions with your live account, so the quotes you see are the same. I want to be very clear about this. Use the paper account for this entire video. Get the connection working there first. Place some test trades through Claude. Watch what it does right and what it gets wrong. Only after you've run that for a couple of weeks should you even think about pointing this at a live account with real money. Step 3. Install the MCP server itself. This is the part where you open a terminal. If you've never opened one before, it's just an app called Terminal on Mac or Command Prompt on Windows. You're going to do 3 things in it. First, you clone the project from GitHub onto your machine. 1 command. Downloads the whole thing into a folder. Second, you create a Python virtual environment. Think of it as a sandbox that keeps this project stuff separate from anything else on your computer, so library versions don't conflict. 1 command to create it, 1 to activate it. Third, you install the dependencies the server needs. 1 more command that reads a list and pulls everything down automatically. If your internet's reasonable, the whole step takes 2 minutes. All the exact commands are in the description, timestamped to right here. Step 4. The configuration file. This is where you're telling the server how to talk to your broker. You create a small text file in the project folder. It's basically a list of settings. The host is your own machine. The port is whichever one you wrote down earlier. There's a client ID. That's just a unique number. Any integer works. There's a flag for whether you're on paper or live. Then, 2 safety flags. One that says whether live trading is even allowed, which stays off until you're absolutely sure. And one that caps the max order size, so even if something goes completely sideways, Claude physically cannot place an order bigger than what you set. Step 5. Tell Claude Desktop that this MCP server exists. Claude Desktop has its own config file that lists every MCP server it's connected to. On Mac it lives in the library folder under application support. On Windows it's in app data. You open that file in any text editor and you add a small block that gives the server a name, tells Claude what command to run to start it, and points to where the server lives on your machine. Save it. Quit Claude Desktop. Not just close the window. Forcing the Byron Daddy. Begin the Jurekenstem para brighter than your own Byron then. Reopen it. If it all worked, you'll see a small tools icon at the bottom of your chat window. Click it. You should see a list of tools all starting with IB_. Get portfolio, get quote, place order, get option chain. If you don't see them, the server didn't connect. 9 times out of 10 it's because gateway isn't running, or the port number in your config doesn't match what gateway is actually set to. Fix that. Restart Claude. Try again. Step 6. The first prompts that actually prove this thing works. Open a new Claude conversation. Type, show me my account summary. Claude calls the account summary tool, pulls your balances, your buying power, your margin, your P&L, and gives it back to you in plain English. Not a data dump. An actual sentence-by-sentence breakdown. Next one. What positions do I currently hold? Claude pulls every open position you have. Ticker, quantity, average cost, current price, unrealized gain or loss. All of it. Try this. Get real-time quotes for SPY, QQQ, and Mercado Libre. For my Argentine viewers, Mealy trades on NASDAQ under the ticker MEALY. Claude pulls bid. Ask last price volume on all 3. Now the prompt that actually justifies this whole setup. Analyze my portfolio. Show me sector concentration, the 3 biggest position risks, and how I'd hedge if I expected a 10% drawdown next quarter. This is where Claude stops being a data lookup and turns into an actual analyst. It pulls everything, runs the math, finds your concentration risk, and suggests specific hedges with specific contracts. The kind of analysis you'd normally pay a financial advisor for, running off your own real numbers in about 30 seconds. If you trade options, try this one. Pull the option chain for NVDA expiring next monthly. Show me the 30 delta calls and 30 delta puts. Calculate the cost of a collar on my 100-share position. One prompt. Claude pulls the chain, finds the right strikes, calculates the net debit or credit, tells you your max loss and max gain on the structure. There's an add-on worth mentioning. A project called Trading Skills, built by Stas Kerman, also open source. It adds 22 more skills and 24 MCP tools on top of basic IBKR access. The headline feature is per-second options flow detection. It flags the moment somebody deploys $1 million on a single contract in a single second. Institutional whale moves in real time. Pulls from a data feed called Massive, formerly Polygon, about $29 a month. If you're serious about options, that's worth the spend. Now the limitations. This is the part most tutorial videos skip. 1. Interactive Brokers only lets you have one API connection at a time. If you log into the web portal while Gateway is running, your Gateway session dies. If you open the mobile app while Gateway is running, same thing. Plan around one connection path. 2. The session expires every single day. You'll have to log back into Gateway every morning before Claude can talk to your account. No way around it. It's a security feature on IBKR's end. 3. Claude makes specific kinds of mistakes you should know about going in. It sometimes confuses ticker symbols with company names. It'll read your portfolio correctly, but if you ask it to compare your positions against an index, it doesn't actually have access to. Sometimes it'll make up the comparison instead of telling you the data isn't there. Always sanity check the numbers against your broker UI for the first month. 4. Order placement works, but treat it the way you'd treat handing your account password to a junior employee. Start on paper. Keep your max order size small. Leave live trading disabled until you've watched Claude execute paper trades correctly for at least 2 weeks. Then turn on live with a tight max order size, then raise it gradually as trust builds. 5. The unofficial broker MCPs change frequently. Read the GitHub issues before you deploy. The Arjun Devecha repo is actively maintained as of May 2026, but check the latest commit date before you trust your account to it. For India users, Zerodha's official MCP exists, but it's read-only, no order placement, and has had authentication bugs since March. The community fork by Sukesh is Go-based and faster to set up if you don't want to mess with Python. For everyone outside India and the US, the interactive brokers path is the one that actually works. That's the full setup. 20 minutes if you know your way around a terminal. About an hour if it's your first time. The payoff is you stop typing your portfolio into chat windows and you start using Claude the way it was built to be used, as an analyst that sees what your broker sees. Settings. Add classic Hormozy subtitle. Use only generated clips. Use cyberpunk style. Use a male clear American voice for the narrator.